With 2020 now behind us, there is plenty to look forward to, and that includes a whole new bunch of two-wheelers. In this video, we're going to list out what new bikes and scooters you can expect to see go on sale this year. And let's start alphabetically with Aprilia. The last big launch of 2020 was the Aprilia SXR 160, and the company plans to follow this up with a smaller SXR 125 this year. The SXR 125 will run on the same chassis and it will have the same bodywork as its bigger sibling, but it will use a smaller motor from the Aprilia SR and the Storm 125 scooters. Aprilia will also be bringing in its brand new middleweight sports bikes to India next year, the RS 660 and the Tuono 660. These bikes should be here by mid-year, but they will be coming as CBUs, so they're not going to be very cheap. Moving on to Bajaj, 2 years ago we broke the news that the company was working on the next generation Pulsar, and we believe that this bike could be ready for launch this year. Details are scarce at the moment, but this is probably the most exciting thing that we're going to see from Bajaj in 2021. Benelli has been expanding its dealer network over the last year or two, and the company has now announced that there will be 7 new motorcycles coming to India this year. Now, most of these are BS6 compliant versions of bikes that were already sold here, like the TRK 502, the TRK 502X, the Leoncino 500, the 302S, the 302R, and the Leoncino 250. Benelli will also be launching its popular TNT 600i in India, and this bike may receive a significant makeover, but we don't know which version India is getting just yet. Moving on to another Italian brand, 2020 was a tough year for Ducati as they had very few BS6 compliant models to sell. But 2021 will be a different story. Expect no less than 5 brand new motorcycles for India, including the new Street Fighter V4, the all-new Multistrada V4 and the revolutionary new Monster. In addition, we'll also be getting the revised Super Sport as well as the updated Panigale V4 and the updated Scrambler range. From Ducati, we move to another premium brand that had a very troubled 2020, but for very different reasons. Now, while Harley-Davidson's wholly owned business in India has come to an end, these American motorcycles will continue to be sold in India by Hero Motocorp, who recently signed a deal with the company. While 2021 will see more BS6 compliant Harleys go on sale, we should also get the radical new Pan America adventure bike. Built to rival the mighty BMW 1250 GS, the Pan America will get a liquid-cooled V-twin that promises upwards of 145 horsepower, and it promises to be unlike any Harley we've ever experienced. As for Hero Motocorp, we could see the company's new e-Maestro electric scooter go on sale this year to take on the likes of the Bajaj Chetak, the TVS iQube and the more premium Ather 450X. Hero has also been promising the launch of the BS6 compliant X-Pulse 200T for some time now, and that should happen very soon. India's second largest two-wheeler manufacturer has launched more new vehicles in 2020 than any of its rivals. With Honda's BS6 range now in place, 2021 is likely to be the year where we see more premium products for its newly established big wing dealer network. The CB350 Highness, for example, is proving to be quite popular, and we expect to see more models on this platform, possibly something with 17-inch wheels this time around. 2021 will also see the return of the Honda CBR 650R and perhaps the introduction of the naked CB650R as well. We're also expecting to see Honda finally launch its 500cc platform in India, which includes the likes of the CB500X Adventure Tourer, the CB500R Fared bike, the CB500 Naked, and the Rebel 500. Which of these will finally arrive is unclear, but at the right price, they all have good potential in our market. And lastly, Honda promised us that the Forza 300 Maxi scooter would return to India this year, but since it has been replaced internationally by the new Forza 350, that's probably the model we're going to get. Indian Motorcycle is another company that suffered thanks to the transition to BS6, and the company had no emissions compliant models to sell after April 2020. In 2021, Indian's BS6 range will be here, and that will include the brand new Challenger, which gets the company's newly developed liquid-cooled V-twin engine. 2021 will also be a significant year for Kawasaki as the company plans to launch its most affordable motorcycle yet, the W175. This simple single-cylinder retro bike will be manufactured here with high levels of localized content, and we believe that Kawasaki intends to keep the price quite low, possibly below Rs 1.4 lakh. The Japanese company is also working on bringing a BS6 compliant version of its popular Ninja 300 to the Indian market. And this bike is likely to be even more affordable in 2021. Another popular Kawasaki that will return to India is the updated ZX-10R superbike that brings revised styling and added features. KTM will update its entire RC range in 2021, and we've already seen spy images of what the bike will look like. Now, along with the polarizing design change, the new RCs are likely to bring in more features and possibly a more comfortable riding position. KTM will also bring in a replacement to the BS4 790 Duke this year, as well as a big adventure bike. Sources had earlier indicated that these would be the 790 Duke and the 790 ADV respectively, but given the fact that the new 890 models have replaced the 790s overseas, it remains to be seen what bikes finally come to India. We also hope to see KTM bring in the higher spec R model for its adventure line in addition to the base variant. Royal Enfield ended 2020 with widespread appreciation for its brand new 350cc platform that debuted on the new Meteor 350. In 2021, we're likely to see more models come out on this platform, including the all-important Classic 350. Spy images show that the next-gen Classic 350 will look very similar to the current model, but that it will use the new chassis and engine. We might also see the third model on Royal Enfield's 650cc platform debut this year in the form of a cruiser motorcycle that has been spied with a 650 parallel twin engine. When this bike comes out, it could be priced a little higher than the Continental GT 650 and the Interceptor 650. In 2020, Suzuki had no new products to offer apart from updating its range from BS4 to BS6 and offering Bluetooth-enabled options for the Access 125 and the Bergman Street 125. As for big bikes, the V-Strom 650 was the only BS6 option from Suzuki last year, and it came with a big price hike. In 2021, we're looking forward to more large-capacity motorcycles from Suzuki, including the new Katana that was showed at the 2020 Auto Expo. If Suzuki finally reveals the all-new Hayabusa internationally this year, you can also expect that bike in India as well, because the Busa always had a huge fan following in our market. 2021 is going to be about relatively affordable motorcycles for Triumph. The new Trident 660 street bike will be launched in India and will be the company's most affordable motorcycle, with a price tag somewhere in the region of Rs 7 lakh ex-showroom, but hopefully slightly below that. Another bike coming to India this year is the Tiger Sport 850. Now, this bike uses the same chassis, suspension, brakes and bodywork as the Tiger 900. The engine is the same too, but it's detuned to make 85 horsepower versus 95 in the Tiger 900. The 850 Sport will be in India by mid-2020, and we expect it to cost about 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees less than the Tiger 900 GT, which currently costs 13.7 lakhs ex-showroom. If you don't mind the power drop, it should make for a tempting proposition. TVS recently registered a number of new names, but a couple of them catch the attention. The first is the Zeppelin R, which follows the Zeppelin power cruiser concept that TVS showcased at the 2018 Auto Expo. This concept used a 220cc air-cooled motor coupled with an integrated starter generator, similar to what we see in Maruti Suzuki's mild hybrid petrol cars. Now, some of the elements from that concept, including its belt drive and USD fork, may not make it to the final bike, but it looks like we could see a production spec Zeppelin this year, and who knows, it might just be India's first mild hybrid motorcycle. The second name that stands out is the Fiero 125. TVS hasn't used the Fiero name in well over a decade, and it's also been a very long time since the company had a 125cc motorcycle on sale. 2021 could be the year that changes both those things. Yamaha was busy in 2020 launching a range of new 125cc scooters as well as updated versions of its FZ and FZ25. In 2021, we're looking forward to more big bikes from the Japanese company. Bikes that were already sold here like the R3 and the MT-09 should return in BS6 form, but we're hoping that the company will use the opportunity to finally bring down its middleweight motorcycles to India this year. Bikes like the MT-07, the Tracer 700 and especially the highly acclaimed Tenere 700 adventure bike would do really well in our market. Well, that's a lot of new bikes to look forward to this year. Tell us which ones you're most looking forward to, and don't forget to subscribe to the Autocar India YouTube channel for the latest updates on all the new motorcycles coming to India in 2021.